The new Ford Puma ST facelift handling packs. This is one of the first cars that I've seen in the UK with the optional handling pack. A car I'm looking forward to hopefully driving next month from a subscriber. But yeah, as you can see, this car with the new alloy wheels, it's a unique option and a few really cool little tweaks around with the steering wheel as well, and the suspension, the KW suspension, what you kind of get from that. And yeah, I'll go through a little bit around the pricing and obviously share with you this kind of walk around that you can see in front of you. Yeah, just staring a little bit at the tailgate. This car has a pan roof. Yeah, it's a pretty much fully spec'd car. But yeah, with this handling pack, as full on as you can kind of get. It's a 1 litre engine, but there's the steering wheel, which is now not the flat bottom. We'll get a better view of it in a second, don't worry. New touchscreen infotainment. It's got the automatic gearbox. There you can see the steering wheel reverted back to the previous model, which a lot of people like. And the suspension now, KW coilovers. So yeah, how's that going to be? And I'm super excited to kind of share you kind of like the first kind of images that I've seen of this car. And I'm filming this on the 20th of October 2024. And as you can see, it does really change the car. Now, just to give you a little bit of an idea about the handling pack, and you can see kind of like the images that I've got here on this car, what do you actually get from it? And how much does it cost? Well, straight away, we go onto the Ford website. The ST handling pack, as of today, costs £1,050. It gives you unique 19-inch alloy wheels, KW coilover suspension, illuminated front scuff plates, round steering wheel, and a contrast-painted black roof. Now, this car comes with a panoramic roof as well, on top of the contrasting black roof, but then it's obviously not contrasting because it's in a agate black, which is basically an £800 option as well. And what do you guys think? It's a community channel, so yeah, feel free to give me your thoughts. And one of the big changes, which is so underrated, and I'm not even 100% sure why, perhaps it's something about the buttons, but as you can see, the steering wheel is the same as the pre-facelift Ford Puma. It's a little bit of a different shape, little bit of a different kind of feel to it, and you still get that new sort of, obviously, essentially the new digital dash, the new screen, only in automatic form, only 1 litre, 170 PS. That's all you get. But to give you an idea of what any other car without the handling pack looks like inside, it looks like that steering wheel. So as you can see, similar sort of buttons, if not exactly the same, but just a different approach in terms of the shape of the wheel. I have driven this car on my channel, a normal ST Line X, and with this wheel, and I had no issues with it. But for those who've driven the previous model, which I've also had, you can revert back to the older steering wheel, which is an interesting change. Seats are exactly the same. It is just the wheels I kind of mentioned there, and the alloy wheels as well, 19-inch. I'm not too sure if they're lightweight. Does it say lightweight? No, it just says unique 19-inch alloy wheels in black. This is possibly one of the last Fords going with the handling pack, which they often reserve for stuff like, I've driven a lot of like Ford Focus ST track packs, and that has essentially a handling pack. It's called a track pack, and that gives you that lower adjustable suspension. I'm not 100% sure if this is adjustable. It just says KW coilover suspension. I guess that's something to research and find out if you can actually tinker with this to change it to make it even more sporty. The likelihood is it's going to make it a firmer ride, but it'll also make it a very fun car. I've driven plenty of cars with the Ford Focuses. I've also driven the Ford Fiestas, had this as well in sort of like the ST edition, the ST Performance edition. So yeah, to introduce it into here, maybe it's the Ford engineers just sort of letting loose to, well, hopefully try to send something out with a top of the range fast Ford with a petrol engine, even if this one does have a hybrid assistance as well and no manual gearbox. It's got something, but quite a few little changes. But you're paying £1,000 for it. Those wheels are pretty serious. It looks like it's on Continental tyres, 225/40 section R19s. Yeah, again, not sure if they're lightweight, but that's the design that you get. Brakes look pretty big. I'm not too sure if it doesn't say that they're increased, but they actually look like they feel the wheel quite nicely. Maybe not so much on the back. You can obviously, I want to know in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you think of the stance? What do you think of the car itself? Again, this is the first one that I've seen, and happy to kind of go through it and share it with you all. There's plenty of images to check this car out, and with the contrasting black roof, you can't really tell too much about it because it's obviously a black car. And for example, this car actually would retail quite a fair bit more than this car's actually for sale. So this is about £33,000 as of filming, and you could technically collect this car today. It is for sale from Ford Sutton Coldfield. So RRP 36,450, and it's for sale at 32,995. And all these kind of cool little images of what is one of the last hot little hatches really. And with the handling pack, it kind of potentially puts it on like what I've felt is as close as you can get to an RS. I've owned an RS, and I owned one for 6 months, of Ford Focus RS edition, and I loved it. And I've driven RSs in the past, and whenever I've driven the Ford Focus ST track pack, which has the KW suspension and the Fiesta ST editions and the Fiesta ST Performance edition, which is very similar to this. Bear in mind, this is just a Fiesta pumped up. They make it a lot more serious. Now, it'll be interesting to see if you can adjust it. But yeah, I mean, this is a well-spec car. You know, let's be honest, it's got everything you kind of want. See, it said scuff, but I wonder if that's different as well with the scuff plates. I guess the one way to find out is to see if in a car which might not have it, which might be this one. So let's see if it gives us an image as we kind of go through. And you can kind of see actually even with the ride height, it looks a lot higher. Is that just me? It might be, but from what I saw going back and forth, it felt a little bit higher. But let's focus a little bit on the scuff plates, because I'm interested to know what else is kind of, what you're getting for your £1,050. Okay, so you can't really see it on there, but that's what you get. And yeah, we go through it. B&O sound system, get that new screen. I found it quite good in the drive actually. I didn't really have any issues with it. I was sort of skeptical at first when I was checking this car out, but when I actually drove it, I had no problems really with the infotainment, even if it does look a bit stuck on. And actually the way it works, it's quite fast, and it's just similar to what the Ford Focus is. So it uses the same kind of software, and I'm assuming the same kind of hardware too. It's designed to work. They don't really want any issues with these cars. Automatic gearbox, it's not a manual, but you get a manual handbrake and get the steering wheel. Why do you think they do that with the steering wheel? There's obviously, perhaps there is obviously a reason for it, but it's a big change. I mean, the touch and feel of a car is so important. And actually, the changes with the wheels, the 19-inch unique wheels, the changes with a little bit of the visual effects, actually, with the contrasting black roof, depending what colour you get, and the scuff plates, and the steering wheel, and the suspension. These are all things that you touch, feel, or touch the ground. You know, you only got 4 wheels at the end of the day. But that's the wheel, which is essentially the same as the pre-facelift, now on the facelift. And with the exact same buttons, the sport modes, you can kind of change between. And the new dash again in front, customizable, reversing camera, all these little things on a Ford Puma ST handling pack. And I do have a subscriber who is collecting one, and I hope to share that on the channel, a drive on it, because I think that would be really, really great for you to share. As nice as it is to share these kind of pictures of this car, the drive would be very interesting and a proper walk around. And I'm curious to know what you guys think in terms of that ride height. And let's just end it with that, because I think that's quite a big part of the car. You know, it didn't show anything about that you could adjust it. It didn't show. Normally you get like a little toolkit to adjust it. So again, let me know in the comments if you think that's correct. But here's a normal Puma ST. That's the suspension settings. I think this looks a little bit lower in the arches. That's just my opinion. But yes, this car is for sale if you want to collect it. It's on Auto Trader. It's the only handling pack currently for sale as of today. And check it out and let me know what you think in the comments of the new Ford Puma ST facelift handling pack. 170 PS, 1 litre, EcoBoost, mild, hybrid car. And subscribe if you want to see that drive, because I'm looking forward to sharing that on the channel, and it's a community channel, so please feel free to get involved and help each other out.